Welcome back to the Anacor Show. I am your host, Mr. B. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We are talking the beef between Dame Dash and Jay-Z. Now, Dame Dash for the last 20 years have been going in on Jay-Z, and Jay-Z, for the most part, haven't said anything. He pretty much stayed quiet. But Jay-Z is now playing offense as of 2026, and he decided that he's no longer going to sit around and let people talk about him. He's going to have something to say. So at the Roots Festival this past weekend, Jay-Z did a freestyle and Dame Dash came up where he took a couple shots at Dame Dash. Now, as a result of it, Dame Dash and others are responding. So let's jump right into what Dame Dash had to say about that beef.
Jay went viral over the weekend over a freestyle he did at the Roots picnic, and people feel like he took shots at you. You seen it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Contrary to what everyone may believe, I really still look at Jay as my brother. And I know Jay. And I was like, all these years, just even amongst my crew, we would be like, he ain't gonna never say nothing until he's broke. So he hasn't said anything for 20 years. And I'm like, damn, I hope he's not broke. Because he would said something. It was whack. It was like a joke, but it was an old joke. He used my lyrics. So I started to be like, he's not like, like, I would prefer the version of Jay that would have said something more clever. And that's not the version of Jay that I would have ever signed. And I felt bad because I was like, it must be embarrassing for him to now have to be on that stage, not the same version of himself, and still have to work at that age because he has to. So that was the brother in me, like, damn, I know that because I know him, that when we were younger, when he was this age, he hated talking to people and doing he was retiring since Reasonable Doubt. For him to have to come outside 20 years later, I just felt kind of like embarrassed for him a little bit because we all know him. And then the funny thing to me, I couldn't even hear the lyrics because the hairstyle was crazy. And I was like, why would they let him come outside like that? Like, I'm gonna, because to me it's like that shit is funny, and there should be jokes for that hairstyle. And if like everyone around him that loves him didn't laugh and be like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, why would he do that? Like, we want to see, and I'm gonna tell, because I still care about JJ. When you do Yankee Stadium, I need you to get a Caesar. I need you to put the Yankee hat on and do the thing to the side. That's what we want to see. We want to see chuckers. We want to see some jewelry. We don't want to see this version of you. I know I don't. That version of The Rock was painful and hard to look at. Pause. So almost like we don't have direct conversation, but I do feel like if I'm not around, he's not relevant. I feel like that's the reason why they have to bring my name up all the time. I thought that rap was it was bad. It was terrible. Even the way he projects, because again, I'm critiquing him from where he was and where he is. And then I'm like, damn, like like, why are you trying to make people look like at the outline of you and not directly at you? Why do they keep putting you in these funny hairstyles? And like, who is this? What version of this would have sold if Jay would have came out in that stupid ass hairstyle with them dull clothes with nothing shiny in 90, in 2096 when we were coming out, would that have been the one that you would have been a fan of? And then he's getting at Drake. And I don't think Drake can beat Kendrick but I know Drake can beat Jay. I know that for a fact. And then I was like, damn, this nigga ain't say nothing about 50. Damn, 50 been, where's 50? I wanted to, I guess he don't want no smoke with 50, but 50 been kind of quiet lately too, for some reason. And then I'm like, the businessman in me was like, oh shit, I got a TV show coming out that I licensed to BET. And I pivoted toward real estate and I have all these good things going on. This is the alley-oop. It really isn't too much I gotta say. I mean, I'm hearing everyone else's opinions. I don't have to say nothing. I feel like he has to deal with that backlash just for being that whack on the Roots stage. It's like, was he trying to look like the drummer from the Roots? Was that, like, what was the, I don't understand. And I don't know how he gets out of going from a dread to an afro in a day without patches and nothing. Like, was it to hide horns? So to me, that's what it looks like when you owe the devil money. They make you dress funny. They take all your jewelry away. And then they make you do what they say. I watched what happened to Kev Hart the other day. It was sad. So I went from being like a little aggravated with them to now feeling sorry because I'm actually watching what happens after 25 years after you sell your soul. You're in hell. You can't tell me when you were 30 that you wanted to be 60 with this stupid ass hairstyle, beefing with niggas that you know are gonna get at you all day long. Like, what I gotta do? Like, I don't want to see Rockefeller look like that. It's still a reflection of me. I love Freeway. He's on my out. I can guarantee. Here, how about this? Because I want to be nice if he's in a bad place. If he is allegedly, I don't know. You know, show me something, Jay. You're supposed to be a billionaire. I never seen a billionaire have a job. I don't give a fuck about that Super Bowl. He's an employee. A billionaire doesn't take a job. I tried to buy the Raiders with Ray Lewis. If these niggas would have asked me to take a job, I would have felt very offended. I would have felt like they were asking me to produce Soul Plane. I would have been like, yo, man, get the fuck out of here. I just tried to buy a team and you telling me to do the entertainment? That's just not me. That's not my perspective of boss, is when a white man gives me a big job, because that means that white man can fire me. But what I know about business is it doesn't matter how much money you make. It's how much bills you have at the end of the month. So if you make $1 billion a month and you and your bills are 1 billion, 10 million, you're 10 million in the hole every month. You live well, but you got to work really hard. And I know too much. And you know, it's funny because I know they got double agents all over. They play like that. To me, bitch ass niggas unite. What I didn't like is that he paused. I thought it was disrespectful to call me a nut ass nigga. Like, even though that's what they say in Philly, pause. Don't play with me like that, Jay. Don't do the nut thing. That's nasty. You know we don't do that. Keep it jokes. Just keep it jokes. But if we want to battle, anytime Jay wants to battle on the stage, I will personally destroy him. Anytime he wants to do a fashion line, I'll destroy him. Pause. Anytime he wants to make a movie, I will destroy him. Any television show or docuseries or book, I will destroy him. Pause. Like, it's not even close. Kanye just did 80,000 and they built the stadium for him, I think. Now that's rhythm. Getting on the Roots with a stupid afro and doing a freestyle, a battle freestyle, after you just said that battle rap's not good for rap, is just dumb. And I'm just wondering who's telling him, or who's because someone has to be giving him orders. But those are the wrong ones. It just looks like they're trying to cook him. You know what I mean? I just didn't get the hair. It was hard to get past it. Like, if they didn't like, because see, when Jay had, I'm gonna tell you a story real quick and then we'll move on from Jay. One day I flew in for the Grammys with like Big Face Gary, Street, Best Out Cats. I think Tata was with us, Biggs. And I walked in and I ran into D Mac and his other man, he's dark skinned, I forgot his name. Now what happened was I had like 5 people with me and they were like, dang, we could get you in, but we can't get your peoples in. So I was like, all right, let me in and I'll pause. I'll find somebody, I'll work it out. So I run into D Mac and he's like, yo, you better get out of here. Haitian Jack just is in here. So I'm like, so? I ain't got no problems with Haitian Jack. He's like, nah, yesterday he told Jay to suck his dick, pause. And Jay didn't tell me about it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? I would have heard about that. Nah, you better get out of here. So now I can't leave. I don't want to tell everybody. So I tell Biggs. And, I run into Haitian Jack. We talk about it. And I'm like, he's like, Jay was disrespectful, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, but you told him to suck. You told him to suck it. Pause. And he had some peoples with him. But again, we had somewhat of a mutual respect. And Praz was there because he told me about the story later because he was there. I think Tracy Waples was there too. Praz told me that. So I walked around and I couldn't believe it. So I went back and I was like, yo, what happened? Like, what? He was with some people and I was with some people, but I didn't tell my people because I didn't want them too tense. But I saw him tell the guys like not to do nothing because I guess we worked it out, but I had to know what happened. So either way, the next day we see him and he got these stupid ass dress shirts on with cufflinks and jeans. And I'm like, he did that yesterday, but he does it another day. And I'm aggravated about the Haitian Jack shit because I just walked into that. I felt like he should have told me. And you could ask my homeboys, we around the table and I sent a text to everybody like, y'all gonna let this nigga wear this stupid shirt? And I sent the text, or rather I told my homeboys, the Best Out, and I texted Jay like, yo, you better stop wearing that shirt or we teasing. And he said, my man raised no fool, took the shirt off, and we didn't have to deal with that dress shirt. But a year later, he brought back that stupid ass dress shirt. And that damn near put Rockwear out of business. The point of that story was, when he's doing dumb shit, he's always dressed terrible. And that look that I saw, everything was terrible. No one wants to dress like that. No one wants to look like a broccoli face mixed with a goat or a goofy. No one wants to do that. Jay was aspirational. People wanted to be like him. So Jay, at Yankee Stadium, I'm giving you an order. Cut that hair off. I want you to get a Caesar. I want you to wear the baseball hat to the side, some Timbs, but we want to see the old Jay. We don't want to see this version of you, bro. We don't want to see Heart Attack Jay, the one that looks like they're going to fall out because they can't catch their breath and that wig is too heavy. We don't want that, Jay. Let's preserve this legacy. And I'm not coming out there with you either. Don't call me. So don't think Damon's going to do a surprise. I'm not. I'm not getting on that dusty stage. Next question.
So when he said the line about your teeth tumbling out, you ain't feel the type of way.
I got my teeth. That's an old joke. That was corny. He said something that I was expecting something clever. Like they didn't tumble out, but if they did, that was 2 years ago. That's so 2 years ago. 50. Why would I be mad at that? I'm like, this thing actually, I was just more like so shocked that he's broke, allegedly, just based on that motion. Like, I don't see like if he has a loan, how he's bankable because of all the accusations. So it looks like he got to work because he's working. Let me ask you a question. If he hasn't said anything in 20 years, why you think he's starting now? Why after 20 years and you 60, do you want to come back outside? And you got, look, even Charlemagne was defending this today. He's so allegedly gay about it. He doesn't even He doesn't even hide it. Pause. They're so gay for each other, or he's so gay for this nigga. Pause. Like he wouldn't even admit that rap was terrible. That did you like? Was that a Jay-Z rap? Was that ROC? We running this rap shit. That he didn't put me on no Summer Jam screen. Pause. You can't do shit like that and come back with your teeth fell out a year ago with stupid hair. Like, would you ever think that Cam would have big teeth or Fredo, and that Jay would have a lion's mare with a goat face? Would you ever think this would happen? I never thought this would happen. I'm in the look how cool I still am. These niggas lost it. These niggas gotta be broke to do this shit. Who would put them big ass teeth in their mouth if they didn't have to? Who would do that? Why would you wear them stupid ass suits? He knows those suits are stupid. Those suits are terrible. Why would he keep doing it? To make me nauseous? And this is another thing about Jay that I still wonder about, being that he wants to be funny. Jay's breath always used to stink. And you know why? Because for some reason, don't you hate when they got bad breath and chew Big Red? It's just cinnamon doodle. Nobody wants to smell that. I hope this is not still chewing Big Red with bad breath on that mic, because that mic must have been stinking. And then he dressed up like a mic. This is not the version, Jay, please. Make Jay great again. That's the new slogan. Make him great again. I don't want to see this happen. Yo, you gotta admit, when you saw the hair, you was laughing, bro. You knew this was gonna be funny.
This is not a good look for the Rockefeller dynasty that was built many years ago, 20, 30 years ago. To see that the two architects of that movement is at odds and they're arguing like this, to me, it's a bad look. I like Dame Dash, don't get me wrong. And I like Jay-Z, don't get me wrong. This, particularly with Dame Dash, I don't think is a good look for him. And this isn't a shot, but I just feel like, you know, you're close to 60 years old and your response is, this dude's breath smells like doo-doo and cinnamon toast. He's got like the cinnamon doo-doo smell on his breath, and the mic smelled bad, and he looked like the mic, and this is somehow Cam got brought up into this. I don't know where he came out of, but this seems like it's Dame kind of airing his grievances. He's frustrated. And then the irony of the whole thing is it seems like Dame, who's had alleged, financial problems, obviously, I think he's got enough to sustain his lifestyle. But, there are recorded bankruptcies and things like that. But he's talking about Jay-Z being broke. And I don't know anywhere where somebody said Jay-Z was broke. So the irony in that is the person who is allegedly financially having some struggles is alleging that the guy who's the billionaire, who kind of parted ways and really kind of took sucked all the air out of the room, stopped the gravy train for him. Now he's saying that guy is broke. And now you have to kind of look at the situation and say, okay, Dame is tweaking, you know what I'm saying? Because, I think there's a lot of hurt. As I'm hearing him talk about the situation, I think there's a lot of hurt. And he prefaced the conversation by saying, Jay's my man. And they're supposed to be, trying to clown each other and things like that. But I don't think Jay-Z's really interested in having a back and forth with Dame. I don't think that's really his style. I just think it was a moment for him to clap back at everybody who had something to say. Because as he said in his interview, he's playing offense. Now, Dame Dash, I think, is going to try to capitalize off of this because now Jay-Z mentioned him in the rap. is going to put some sort of spotlight back on him, and maybe he's going to redirect that spotlight towards projects and things that he's got in motion. But some of these comebacks, his breath smell like doo-doo, he can't dress, these aren't things that people are going to be like, yes, Dame, we agree with you. Let's stop liking Jay-Z. I don't think that's what's going to happen. So I just think this is an unfortunate situation that they have to be at this place. But Dame's going in. Let's continue to watch.
But who told them? Wait, hold on. But hold on. Who you think told? I want to know who told them to do that and like how they put the wig on. How do you think they did that? Like, don't you think they would have videotaped them cutting it off and it'll be on the video? Dun. It's no more Dookie. What do you call him? Dookie Wick J. That new name is Dookie Wick. Boss. I wish, I don't know how these brothers cutting this thing up with them Dookie Wicks. And then he comes back with that shit. That was the, why? What the fuck is he doing? Yo, talk to your man, B. Yo, Jay Brown, you still my man. Don't let him do that. No more wigs. Put the wig down. No more Dookie Wicks. Pause. And no more wigs. Next question.
Me personally, I mean, when Jay Brown got Beans and Freeway, that was a dope moment to me personally, so.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not the same. It's not state property Freeway. I mean, I'm sorry. Beans. No disrespect to Beans, but he's been through a lot. So it's just not the same. Like, I'm used to Pause Fat Beans. Pause. You feel me? We want Chubby Beans, the Broadway bully. No disrespect, but things have happened. But it's not the version that's not the last visual I'd like to see of state property. Let's say that. Freeway, again, he makes albums with me. I feel like Jay needed Freeway because they didn't show the show. Like, it's just a bunch of whack shit. Let me ask you a question. When is the last time that Jay had a hit record? And don't say 40, 40, 40, whatever that shit is, because that wasn't a hit. I want to know a hit record. When's the last time he made a hit movie? When the last time he made a hit clothing line? When the last time he made a hit anything? All he does is do brunches. Like, he hasn't pushed the bar creatively, individually in this century. Like, we want to see some creativity. I don't want to hear about lawsuits all day. That's what I hear more about him is lawsuits. But I'd rather, he was, I guess he wasn't. I feel like it might have been all me now. Because he's been whacked since I wasn't around. You know what I mean? To me. He been funny dressing. And then he started growing branches. He turned into a tree. Pause. And now he's a bush. Pause. He went from a tree to a bush. That's the most interesting thing he's done is done funny hair. That's been classic. Those hairstyles are classic. But I think his friends should tease him a little. They'll keep him a little cooler. Because that would not be tolerated. None of that shit would have ever happened at Rockefeller. I wouldn't have let it. I would have been on the floor I would have been crying through the whole set with that hair. Like, you think when he walked in with, oh, that shit is fly. Like, what was the reaction to that when he walked in the room? He was like, I'm going to give him the flower pot head. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look like the dandelion, the flower. When you blow the flower and everything, I'm going to look like that. Pause. You feel? No one's going to think it's a wig. Like, I don't understand the plotting behind that. So let's move on. I could do this all day. If he wants to snap, we could snap. He makes it easy. He's a very awkward guy. No swag. I wouldn't keep me around me if I was him.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
This
Okay, so that was Dame Dash sharing his thoughts about the whole Jay-Z debacle and Jay-Z having something to say about him. I mean, it's unfortunate, man. I like both of these guys. I don't want to hear Dame Dash trying to go in on Jay-Z in that manner. I don't necessarily want to hear Jay-Z going in on Dame Dash in that manner. They've done some great things together, but I do think the two men are at odds. I mean, there's some real issues there. You know what I mean? From the Aaliyah connection, I believe Jay-Z was dealing with it first, and then Dame Dash ended up wifing it up to, you know, the Becky with the good hair situation where Dame Dash ex-wife allegedly may have been messing with Jay-Z. You know, there's a lot of personal stuff that I think is between these two men. A lot of stuff that's probably never really been talked about and brought to the surface. And it's just been a lot of subliminal shots taken at each other. One guy going in, another guy, you know, doing interviews regularly. Whereas Jay doesn't typically go out and talk openly about stuff like that. He generally sits in the background. He might subliminally mention it in his rap once in a while, but he's not really the type of dude who's going to do interviews talking about what happened with his ex-business partners. I don't really see that, but musically he will express himself, and it seemed like he had some things on his chest, and the Dame Dash thing came up, right? There's a lot of people, you know, who's talking. I felt he was justified about saying certain things, like, you know, if somebody's got kids and they got certain issues or disabilities and things like that, I do think it's a low thing to try to make fun of somebody's kids who's dealing with disabilities. That's whoever did that. I think that was Kanye. It's not a good look for Kanye. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that was necessary for him to say something. Clearly, the lawyer got under his skin and is out here chasing a check, trying to oversue this guy for nothing. I can understand why he would have something to say about that. Now, Drake had some things to say. I think a lot of people will throw rocks because they want to get the man's attention. And some have some legitimate, you know, concerns. You know, I think Tory Lanez and his father had some legitimate concerns, you know, with, I guess, behind the scene things that was happening. But, you know, Jay addressed that too. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, with regards to other people throwing rocks at him, Jack Girl White, I don't know what that lady's angle is. I think she just wants money. She wants to pay out. She's always going in. So he mentioned it as well. I mean, I thought it was overdue, to be honest. He generally never really speaks about these things, but I think it was overdue for him to say something about what was going on, and he finally did. Now, you're starting to see people react to what he said. As you can see, Dame Dash is making an effort to clown him, talk about his looks and things of that nature. I don't think Dame Dash enjoys having to do that. I think he's probably doing it reluctantly because, again, if you shit on Jay-Z and he's a major part of what made your career, in a way, you're indirectly shitting on yourself. And, you know, it doesn't really make sense. And I think that's why, for the most part, Jay-Z hasn't really much said anything about the Dame Dash thing other than, you know, you lost one. Like, you know, like, things probably could have been different had there been different moves made. They have a different way of doing business. And eventually the partnership, you know, ran its course. But, you know, I think these guys are each other's godfathers. Some of them are, I think Jay-Z's the godfather of one of Dame's kids and things of that nature. And it's like, when it's at that point, it's that personal. It's not a good look. And especially when the conversation's getting to a point where people are getting personal, you bringing people, kids into it, you talking about, you know, personal things, that stuff is not good. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, these are street dudes. And things can go down. You know, you start talking and somebody run into you. All these guys got money, you know, things can go down. So you just hope, man, that's not how we handle situations. That somebody somewhere has some sort of pull with both men and they can sit down and hash things out in an amicable way so that their personal lives don't have to be a skeptical to everybody watching. I know people are entertained by beef and all these different things, but it's like, to me, I don't like to see the legacy ruined. So my view is hopefully they can work it out, but I don't know where I'll go. I'm certainly tuned in. Obviously, it's a trending topic right now. So, you know, by virtue of what we do, you know, we try to react to different trending topics. This isn't typically the type of things I cover on my broadcast, but, you know, it is a trending topic and people are talking about it. So, you know, I have a reaction to it, but I don't know. What say you, though? If you're not already connected to the show, like and subscribe to the Inner Core Show and weigh in. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this whole beef. Who's right? Who's wrong? Is it, you know, unnecessary? Share your thoughts. We definitely welcome your feedback. And, you know, stay connected to the show. Share the video and, you know, stay connected so that you can get the next video that we have. That being said, I thank you all for joining me for this particular segment. And until we speak again, wishing you the best. God bless to you and yours. Later.